Hello, boys and girls. It's your old friend RJ City, and today we'll be watching the trailer to 1987's Blue Monkey. It's allegedly a horror movie, and it's October. I thought I would be nice and seasonal. However, I know nothing about it. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about. Will there be monkeys in it? Perhaps. Will there be the color blue in it? It's very likely, but there's only one way to find out. So, without any further ado, let us watch the trailer to 1987's Blue Monkey. Ooh, this is a nice grainy, and that pea green, that nice strong pea color, I like it. Oh no, Morse code?
Damn it!
And a life alert?
At 7 p.m., County Memorial Hospital
At
was
7
placed under a
p.m.?
Class 4 quarantine alert.
Oh no.
Never seen any strain of bacteria with a
No.
configuration like this.
It's not what's gotten into their patients
I
that
don't want to
worries
watch
them.
this.
It's what's getting out.
This is uncomfortable.
Oh my god. It's one of a kind. I gotta get closer.
Todd Lake is in this?
The entrances are completely sealed.
It's really happening?
Joe Flaherty's in this?
Something big.
No one is permitted in or out until further notice.
Friday night.
Jane Eastwood's in this? Everyone's in this thing.
Hurry, the little bugger's on its way.
These bugs, I get the bugs. Oh no. Oh no.
The nail paralyzes the victim by stinging. When those eggs hatch, you're gonna have a lot of hungry larvae.
The munching sounds.
Oh my God, you're still alive.
Trying to break into the hospital from below. No, get out of here!
The monster camp. Oh lord. Oh lord. Oh no.
I said fire!
The Blue Monkey is coming.
David Jordan, what are you doing here? Let's give it a boost.
And coming.
We still have a few bugs to iron out.
And still coming. Blue Monkey.
What the Robin Duke? Okay, first of all, first thing is first. This cast is incredible. John Lake, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Super Dave, The Bonnie Hunt Show, I think almost all of her shows, and a bunch of Christopher Guest films. Fantastic, number one. Number two, Joe Flaherty, SCTV, Count Floyd, Freaks and Geeks Maniac Mansion, which I love, outstanding. Jane Eastwood, legendary Canadian actress, and when I say legendary, I mean I ran into her at an audition once. And Robin Duke, who was on SCTV and SNL and The Waitress in Groundhog Day. So this is likely filmed in Toronto. I'm putting the pieces together here. I don't know why. In the beginning, the life alert, the thing, the defibrillator, she defibrillated the person, I guess, so hard that it burst some mutant mason jar of bacteria, and that caused this chain of events. The beginning with the quarantine and the petri dish and the hospital, immediately, under present circumstances of this reality, made me highly, highly uncomfortable, and I did not want to watch this. And then I saw that giant larva worm maggot thing, and I was like, oh, okay, we're getting totally fucked up here, and now I feel better. We've taken this totally out of reality. Another thing that takes it totally out of reality is that John Lake, he was also in, I believe, the New Adventures of Old Christine. Yet, he seems to be a real serious male lead here, which is a departure for me. I'm not used to seeing him in that way. That is something else. So they look at this stuff and I guess, they bite you, they paralyze you, and then you shit out a worm or something, and the worm turns into a giant ant? There's larva. I don't know how the larva grows. It grows, maybe the person is paralyzed, and then there's a sac that grows out of them. I don't understand that pregnant woman. The little bugger's on his way. That's going to be a horrific pregnancy scene. Ma'am, it's an ant. It's a giant ant. I'm so sorry about it. I did notice they have the narrator guy at 7 p.m. and it was like pitch black. This is 7 p.m. nowhere in the world. This is maybe like a 7 a.m. And it's definitely in Toronto because all the army, when they locked down the hospital, you could see their breath. I loved everything is sealed. They're really setting up what the limitations are in the hospital. And does the whole thing take place in a hospital? Maybe that makes more sense now. They've contained it to the hospital. And then they've got to fight their way out. And at the end, somebody's like, we got to tunnel through the bottom of the hospital. They just break into this hospital to let these people out. I mean, I think it's the Navy or the Army was the Navy. The Army was right to self-contain under the circumstances of not knowing how to handle a giant ant. I think that was a good idea. I loved also how the monster ant, maybe, is there an army of them? Or is that like the queen ant? Got the old guy. Eating the old guy. You see the leg go out of frame, and then you see poof, a shoe. So either the old guy had his shoe on very loosely, he didn't tie it too tight, or maybe the ant is allergic to suede and didn't want the boot at all, was just eating. She went, just kick this thing off. This is weird. So she's eating the plaid and the denim, I assume the guy's belt and wallet, but the shoes, a pair of Timberlands, too much. I have to digest. And then they're still alive, I guess, in the sacks. So maybe nobody really dies except for the old guy. I loved the monster cam they used. The monster's POV. It's just a guy with a camera shoving it in the faces of terrified people going, and running down the hallway and then back again, just really shoving it into their faces. Joe Flaherty seemed to be a father who was good at running and grabbing his kids. I think that was him in the end. In a dark hospital alleyway, I guess? Maybe? He's like, Timmy, get out, the ants are coming. Of course, Timmy's just standing there. No one in a horror movie is a good parent. That's what I've learned. And what about the old lady? There was a nurse who was Jane Eastwood. And the old lady, she's like, this happens every Friday. Is she the leader of these ants? Who knows? Maybe she's like, yep, this was all my idea. I created them. What bothers me is that there's no monkeys. And I barely saw the color blue. Maybe a little in the title there. It just flashed, and it flashed twice. They had to do blue monkey, and then they had to keep explaining that they're coming and coming and coming because they're breeding. And then the weirdest part, that those typewriter threats, maybe it's just a phase they're going through. They're adolescent, they're pubescent, maybe that's it. And maybe they'll mature and the ants will realize what they've done and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry about, I had raging hormones, I had things going on, and I was ignorant, and I destroyed the lives of the people that I love in this fine hospital when I was just trying to take care of the defibrillation guy who broke the mason jar. I am so very sorry. And then they just release everyone from the sacks, and they throw up the old guy, give him his boot back, and everyone will be very happy. Well, needless to say, this was the beginning and the end of the serious male lead career of Don Lake. Having said that, simply because of this cast, I will be watching this movie in full.